So going to be doing a recap today on the market. I ended up not taking any trades today. Was interesting price action, as you can see, but we're going to go over everything that I saw, everything I was looking at, all that good stuff. So starting out with news today. Had a lot of news today. We had CPI this morning, which in turn is what caused this big-ass 1 minute candle. This happens at every CPI. There is like a 99% chance we are going to get a candle this big, and lo and behold, we got a candle that big. Now, was overall interesting. Not only did we take out London session highs, but later we ended up taking out London session lows, which can be a little confusing. The only big draw of liquidity we had was Asia session lows on the hourly time frame, which typically from up there, you might not be targeting all the way down here. I don't know. It's kind of a Hail Mary, but we'll kind of not what I wanted to see. On paper, this is pretty textbook. We took out London session highs here. I guess London session highs were really here, but didn't have a lot of confluences. We can see we had quite a bit of chop, even with this being on the 1 minute time frame. I do like to see my 15-minute confluences, so 15-minute order blocks, 15-minute breaker blocks, all that stuff. And we really didn't get any of that coming into the market today. It was really interesting to see how price action was developing, honestly. I didn't like the size of the wicks we were seeing here, like here, like here, like here, like all this. We didn't have a lot of displacement. Obviously, we're going to the downside a lot, but we didn't have a lot of confluences lined up. And typically on CPI days, I'm already like mentally checked out. Like I don't like taking trades really on days like this. It can be really iffy. We can get price moving sideways. We can be chopping. Today, we're generally going to the downside right now, but again, we didn't have a lot of 5-minute confluences, or 15-minute confluences rather. Now, when we really don't get that, I don't like entering trades, honestly. When we take out London session highs, we take out London session lows. By 9:40, we had a lot of draws of liquidity gone. We had data highs, data lows, London session highs, London session lows. The only real draw we had was current New York highs and Asia session lows. And then, those are the only two lows you're really working with. Generally I don't like that. And it's not going to hurt you to sit out today. So 15-minute really aren't left with much. It's pretty choppy for the most part. Again, we didn't really form any breaker blocks. We had this move up before these moves down. We really didn't get a closure below it until 10 o'clock, and then we end up reversing to the other direction. And again, I like targeting London lows. I like targeting London highs. I'm okay with targeting data lows and data highs, but honestly, it was just not a day that I personally liked. And I know there's going to be better setups later this week with Thursday and Friday rolling around, but today I personally did not like it. So was kind of one of those days where I came on the charts knowing I'm probably not going to take a trade. I'm 100% okay with not taking a trade, and that's exactly what happened today. If anything, if I were to take a trade, it was going to be very, very risked, and I didn't end up taking anything. Which again, I'm 100% okay with not taking a trade, especially with it being CPI news day today. Now, with there being, if anything, I'm putting less risk on the table, I didn't even bother taking anything. I think the best one was this 5-minute breaker block. So we had this move down before these continuous legs up. We get a complete closure below it, right around here, or enter on this candle. Would have been okay. Would have been a pretty decent looking trade as of right now. But again, that's pretty late for me. Not entering until 10:54 is pretty late. Again, we get into these couple zones where we're just moving sideways, and that can be, like over here is kind of like, what are we doing? Over here, kind of the same thing, right? We're kind of just moving relatively sideways. We're not really distributing anywhere. And that's going to happen with CPI and PPI news day today. That's okay. It's going to happen. We're going to get the setups later this week after we get a lot of volatility throughout the market. I think Thursday and Friday are going to be good days. Again, tomorrow we have PPI news day today, which is just as impactful as CPI news day today. So, going to be on the charts tomorrow. Going to be ready to take a trade. I'm open to taking trades, but again, it's hard to when it's just hard to when price action is presenting itself like this.